we'll go ahead and get started. I know with so many friends and so many distinguished members of the audience here today, it's kind of hard to get straight on business, but we've got a lot to do, and so thank you so much for coming, all the members of the board, all the members of the audience. First of all, I'd like to ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Allen. Present. Palmer. Present. Earl. Here. Mitchell. Here. Davis.
Here.
Donahue. Ford.
Here.
Ross.
Here.
Gillum. Here. Heeman.
Here.
Holscheid.
Here.
Cannon. Cesare.
Here.
Leish. Here. Lewis.
Here.
Lena. Present. Pollack.
Here.
Jefflo. Silva. Present. Smith. Taylor. I'm sorry. Sterrett. Present.
Smith. Here.
Taylor. Vasquez. Winicky. Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. Now, I'd like to ask Sheriff Pat Perez to come to the microphone to lead us in the pledge, and then I'll ask folks to please remain standing for the prayer. So, Sheriff Perez, you can come forward, please. We'd appreciate it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd now like to ask Vinny Nardoni to come to the microphone to lead us in prayer. You may recall that Vinny Nardoni is one of the members of the Young County Board that gathered within the last year. So Vinny was a member of that. So thank you for joining us today, Vinny. Thank you.
All right, please bow. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you today seeking your wisdom and guidance for the direction of this government body. Give each of them the heart of a servant to fulfill their duties and responsibilities to the people of Kane County. Remind us that we are not here only to serve those around us, but also to serve you. Father, I pray you would give our nation, you forgive our nation for our moral wanderings. Use men and women in government across this country to turn towards you once again, so we may honor each other, and most of all, honor you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nardoni. Okay, before I ask for a motion to approve the minutes from last month, I'd like to congratulate those candidates who won in the election this past Tuesday. Your work has just begun. I'd also like to comfort and thank those who did not win this time. We are all grateful for your offer to help make things better. For those returning and for new people on the board, our job now is to work together to improve Kane County. And as you probably know, we're going to have a swearing-in ceremony on December 1st. So if you wouldn't mind marking your calendar, that's when we'll get started with the new team. Okay, may I have a motion to approve the minutes from October 14, 2014? So moved by Dr. Silva, seconded by Jennifer Lesh. And then any comments or changes or thoughts? Okay, Mr. Fries.
Mr. Chairman, we had a transportation-related issue that it's just a housekeeping typo situation. Resolution number 14296 in our October board minutes. We just had a line item that the number was wrong. It should be changed from 302-520-503-60390 to the new number, which is 304-524-60390. I'm sure you all caught that, but I thought
glad that you reviewed those minutes so closely, Mr. Vice Chairman.
I'll take credit.
Okay, are there any other changes, comments? Okay. If not, all those in favor of approving the minutes say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes, minutes are approved. Okay, under presentations and discussion this morning, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to recognize Sheriff Pat Perez. I'd like to invite the sheriff to come forward to be recognized. I believe that Barb O'Nicky is going to lead us in this part of the ceremony to read what's been written on that certificate. So let's go.
Certificate of Recognition in appreciation of Sheriff Patrick B. Perez. Whereas Sheriff Patrick B. Perez will retire on November 30th, 2014, after a distinguished career with the Kane County Sheriff's Office that has spanned more than 22 years. And whereas during that time he advanced through the ranks, was elected Sheriff of Kane County in 2006, and again in 2010, responsible for all of the office's functions and is retiring as such. And whereas Pat raised accountability in the jail, reduced lawsuits against personnel/agency, expanded outreach services, established mandatory random drug testing for deputies, placed more deputies on the streets, and expanded the Citizens Police Academy. Pat has been supervisor of the Special OPS Ops Unit, a member of the Gang and Drug Enforcement Unit, supervisor of the Patrol Division, Investigations Division, and Civil Division, and a member of the Illinois Attorney General's Gang Task Force. Pat has served on various committees and boards. And whereas Pat successfully spearheaded the move of the Sheriff's Office and jail in August of 2008 safely and without interruption of service to the public. And whereas Pat has repeatedly demonstrated his devotion by improving efficiency of the Sheriff's Office and helping to ensure the safety of Kane County citizens. And whereas Pat established the annual Sheriff's Charity Car and Motorcycle Show, raising over $80,000 for many charities during his 8 years in office. And whereas Pat has enjoyed an admirable career of dedication, professionalism, and commitment to the citizens of Kane County, including receiving various awards and commendations. And whereas the Kane County Board and the citizens of Kane County appreciate Pat Perez's invaluable service, dedication, and effective leadership for the past 22 years. Now therefore, on this 10th day of November 2014, the Kane County Board extends its deep appreciation to Patrick B. Perez for his dedicated and commendable service to the citizens of Kane County, and best wishes to Pat for an enjoyable, rewarding, and relaxing retirement.
Was that for my retirement or because you're happy that I'm here? I want to thank the county board for this recognition, Chairman Lawson, all members of the board. Over the course of 8 years, we've done a lot of good things together. Sometimes we weren't on the same page, but I think in the end, we're all doing what we believe is best for the people of this county that we've been elected to serve. And I think of all the things that we've been able to accomplish, I think making it through the worst economy that we have all seen in our lifetime has been the biggest. I know it took a few years off of my life and accelerated my retirement, but it showed us that you have to sometimes adopt the mantra that you do the best you can with what you have to work with. I want to thank you for all the great things that we've been able to accomplish, moving into the new facility, getting our budgets passed every year, and most recently erecting the new regional training center, which is going to benefit the people of Kane County for many, many years to come, and the people from the Sheriff's Office. And if I could I have all of the members of the Sheriff's Office that are here, patrol lieutenants, corrections lieutenants, court security, civilian staff, please stand. I want to thank these people because they're the ones that make things happen behind the scenes. I rely on them. This is a team effort. This isn't just for me. This is for everyone here. When I came into office, I kind of adopted a Teddy Roosevelt saying, and that was a smart leader knows to surround himself with competent people and then sit the heck out of their way and let them do what he appointed them to do. So, in closing, I want to thank all of you, and I was going to ask for a moment of silence for the Chicago Bears, but I think we've already done that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sheriff Perez, for the good example that you've provided us for the last 8 years. Your personification of effective leadership, keeping your word, selecting good people, trusting, appreciating, and you say, as you say, letting them get their jobs done. We appreciate what you've done very much. Okay, I'd like to add Mr. Vasquez and Mr. Kenyon to the roll. So next on the agenda is the Metro fiscal year 15 budget. Okay, so I'd like to invite Judge Manny Barbosa, our representative to Metro, along with Mr. Scopus, if you would like him to come at any time to present Metro's fiscal year 15 budget. So Judge Barbosa, it's great to see you.
See you. Good morning, board members, ladies and gentlemen. Metro's proposed document that was delivered to the board in October provides information on the preliminary 2015 operating and capital program and budget, together with the 2016 and 2017 financial plan. The capital program portion provides a preliminary 2015 program as well as a forward-looking estimate of the years 2016 through 2019. The budget includes a 10.8% overall fare increase for 2015. Other proposed fare changes include the cost for 10 ride tickets will be reduced to the price of 9 one-way tickets. The weekend pass price will increase from $7 to $8. Monthly tickets will be available until noon on the first weekday of the next month. One-way tickets will be valid for a period of 90 days instead of 14. The onboard penalty fare will be increased from $3 to $5, and no refunds on Metro tickets except at the discretion of the executive director. Metro has been given a target of having a 52% fare box recovery ratio by its parent organization, the RTA. Metro projects a 53.6% recovery ratio in 2015. Passenger revenues are budgeted at $337.3 million, which is about $27.3 million higher than the budgeted 2014 revenues. Metro projects a $51.5 million, that is a 7.2% increase in total expenditures versus the 2014 budget, $41.5 million increase in operating expense, $6 million increase in capital fare box funds, and $4 million for Metro financing principal payment. This cost change is driven by modest inflationary increases in several items related to what is known as PTC, which is positive train control, a safety measure, which is a federally mandated project, as well as maintenance of aged equipment and capital spending. Metro's primary charge is to continue to provide and expand safe, efficient, comfortable, and dependable commuter rail service in northeastern Illinois. This mission can only be achieved through a robust and aggressive capital program. The total core capital program for 2015 is set at $328.9 million. The 5-year program includes a $300 million in state of Illinois capital bonds. It was estimated that Metro would need $2.4 billion from 2015 through 2024 to fund the PTC, positive train control, and the rolling stock programs as part of Metro's modernization plan. This does not address any of Metro's other asset categories. Metro can raise $400 million through financing and $700 million from known state and federal resources. This leaves a funding gap of about $1.3 billion, which is being addressed. With this, I will conclude my presentation and take any questions you may have.
Okay. Any questions or comments from board members? Dr. Silva.
You knew my hand was coming up, didn't you? Yes, good morning, Judge. One of the things that I try to do on the board is really look at the increase in any fares, increase in any fees. Can you please expand a little bit on the reason for, I know we're going from, I think it was $7 to $8 on weekends. I'd like to know specifically more of the reasons or the criteria that you used.
Well, I think the most pressing reason, of course, would be we place the highest premium on public safety, and we have a very aged fleet. We have about 17 trailer cars that date back to the 50s, 127 to the 60s, 163 go back to the 70s. Our locomotives, we have about 50 of them dating back to the 70s. And it's not really a question of comfort or preference, but as we learned last winter during the most pressing days of that Arctic season, it can include issues of safety as well as being able to provide the most basic service. I would like to add also, I don't know if you were provided with a comparison sheet that we have which shows that our fare increase is still well below that of our peers in other similar areas around the country, as well as below the consumer price index, which are I think two reasonable comparisons to make to determine if you're within reason. Certainly, any increase, I'm sure, is a burden to some of our riders, but it was really a decision driven by safety necessity. As well as, I think, public, accommodating the public with equipment that I think is worthy of a metropolitan area.
Thank you for that. And I would agree that people do take their safety very seriously. I think if they start to see these new things that are going to be there and they can see where their money is going, I feel that a lot of people will be okay with the increase. And, you know, I think it's a good idea just to keep in mind. I love the fact that we are below, in comparison to other counties, we're still lower, and I'd love to stay that way. I think that's a really good idea. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Vasquez.
The shortfall, you just reported 1.3 billion, is that what you said? The gap on the budget?
Yes.
What's the plan for Metro to narrow that gap between the funded need and your current budget?
Well, I think the projection for the 10-year period, which amounts to $2,430,500,000. We are hoping at some point that through perhaps increased revenues, as well as other identifiable sources, we'll be able to meet it. But I think that the 10-year plan that we have outlined is probably about as well as we can do to let the public know how we are hoping to address the most immediate needs. I think what we commonly call state of good repair is the most pressing need, and the PTC positive train control, which is about $408 million in rising, I'm told, because it's usually implemented over a long period of time. And our experience with observing what's going on in the West Coast, where they're a little further along in the process, is that these costs tend to increase. All I can tell you is that with our leadership, we will be looking at additional revenues, and these are projections at this point. We are optimistic and hopeful that somehow we will be able to meet those to increase fare revenues as well as other sources.
The other question I had is, how does it affect, projects that were in the plans and the works with Metro and stuff? Is that going to be delayed now on some of these projects that you were going to?
No, I think this takes into account our existing ongoing projects. We're looking forward with these projections. I don't think anything that is currently in the works is in any way imperiled by these projections.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Okay, next is a presentation of the PACE fiscal year 15 budget presentation. I ask Mayor Jeff Schulte to come forward. I'd also like to thank Jeff. I'd like to thank you for your decades of work, not only serving the people of Batavia, but also Kane County and the entire region in your various leadership roles. If you ever want to really enjoy a morning, take the train into a Chicago Metropolitan Area Planning Council meeting with Jeff Schulte, and you learn so much about the history of what's gone on to form our area. I appreciate all of your experience.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to return the compliment to you and your staff. We've been very involved in putting on my other hat as chairman of the Kane County Council of Mayors for a moment. We've been very involved in some long-term planning and funding opportunities for Kane County, specifically the Long Meadow Parkway up in the north end of Kane County. And as you know, we've been successful in obtaining some significant amount of money.
$5 million.
And as a result of that, your leadership in that has certainly gone a long way, and I appreciate all your cooperation and support in understanding. Mayor Ritter from Carpentersville represents Kane County in the Council of Mayors because as the chairman, I'm not supposed to vote, so he always has to come to the meetings with me as the other member from Kane County but he's done a great job too. So I think with Mayor Keller from West Dundee before him, we've got that Long Meadow Parkway thing moving along pretty good, and we've got some other ideas of stuff we want to do in the region here is moving forward. And I think we all have our eyes on I-88 to put a bus on the shoulder program on that one as time marches forward. But I'm here this morning as the PACE bus representative for Kane County, and I'm very pleased to be able to stand here before you today and say that PACE has presented a budget that has no budget cuts or fare increases. We are going to continue to do business as usual, and we have also added some little services around the whole Chicagoland region, including Kane County, and I'll talk about those for just a couple minutes. One of the things in our capital budget that we have for this year is we're buying 265 new smaller buses and vans, which we are dispersing throughout the region. And what we want to do with those is to begin some kind of smaller services, and specifically at the train stations at Elgin, Aurora, and Geneva. You'll begin to see these buses, and what we are doing in the case, I'll give one example, we've just started a service involving Fermilab, where we are now coming to the Geneva train station every morning and picking up a number of Fermi employees who get off the train. We take them from Geneva to Fermilab, and then in the afternoon we go back. And we're looking to do we are doing those same types of things in Aurora and Elgin, so with other facilities in their particular regions. So we're finding that we do have the ridership, but we have to specifically key that ridership into specific routes and things that they want to do. And the old days of just running a bus up and down the road and hoping somebody's going to get on it just doesn't financially make any sense anymore. So we're very blessed, and I brought with me Christine Rose, who is our Community Relations Director for Kane County. And she, along with our marketing and our planning department, are literally in Kane County right now doing a Fox River Valley / Kane County study about how we can kind of fine-tune the bus service in our area. And certainly one of the things that's on our high priority at the moment is up at the north end of the county with the I-90 Bus in the Shoulder program that's underway. And one of the things we're looking at is that we really need to get some better bus service up at the north end of the county, going up to the county line with McHenry. And McHenry is also in the RTA, so hopefully there's going to be some way we can partner some bus routes that will maybe cross the county lines, and specifically on Randall Road, because that's where we're finding that with this I-90 Bus on the Shoulder program, that offers some real unique opportunities for the riders in Kane County, including those of us at the south. If you've ridden Randall Road from Aurora up to St. Charles to South Elgin, you've noticed that PACE has put a number of bus stops along on the shoulders of the road, and there are more of those to come. And the idea of that is that we will, when the I-90 program begins, and I was on I-90 last week in anticipation of me talking to you today. I went and rode it a week ago Saturday. And I-90 from Elgin into Schaumburg is under pretty heavy construction, as most of you know. And we are being told by the tollway that that's going to go through 15 and maybe into 16. So what we're talking about here probably is something that may be still a year or two away. But what we are going to be able to do with that I-90 program is the bus is going to start out at Randall Road in Kane County and go in I-90, and it'll make stops at places like Woodfield and the Sears Center and various locations. And then when we get into Rosemont, it's going to terminate, but we are going to drop the ridership off at the CTA facility at Rosemont, which will allow people to hop on a train then and go right into downtown Chicago. And so we kind of have the same thing with the I-55 Bus on the Shoulder program down in Will County, where we start in Joliet and Plainfield, and we take people into the University of Illinois campus at Chicago, and then they get off there and take the train or the CTA facilities further down. So right now on I-88, I'm sure we're kind of nosing around trying to figure out where we can start picking people up in, maybe Sugar Grove, Aurora, and then taking them in to a CTA facility someplace along the Eisenhower Expressway and allow people to transfer in. We think this is going to be a highly successful program, and the one exciting thing I think that a lot of people in Kane County are going to appreciate is that with the little bus stops out on Randall Road, the situation will allow you to take your luggage with you, go out and stand at a bus stop on Randall Road, get on a PACE bus, go up to Elgin, transfer over to the I-90 shoulder, and where the Des Plaines Oasis used to be on I-90, that's all being torn down, and we're putting in, I'll call it a bus transfer point, and the CTA is going to be running a bus out of O'Hare Airport up to the tollway. We'll drop you off at the bus on the I-90. You'll be able to transfer over and get on the CTA facility, and that will drop you or pick you up at any one of the terminals at O'Hare Airport. And so everybody that has to go to O'Hare now and spend a lot of money to park a car or take a limo or deal with their relatives will be able to go out to Randall Road in Kane County. And this is not immediate, this is still a couple years away, but we're going to have this available, and hopefully we'll be running it from Montgomery all the way up to Algonquin as far as your access to this particular facility. So I'm kind of excited about some of the things we're doing here, because this really is kind of cutting edge stuff and really gets to the heart of the chase of what I think people in Kane County are seriously wanting to have. And so I thank you for my opportunity, and if anybody has any questions, I'd certainly be happy to entertain them.
Thank you very much, Mayor Shelkey. Any questions or comments? If not, again, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. We are so fortunate to have you. Keep up your good work. Stay healthy. Okay, next on the agenda is Chairman Short Program. Because we have a packed agenda, I'm going to defer any of my time for issues that will be covered later on. So are there any speakers on agenda items? If not, we'll go to the zoning petitions. We have 4 zoning petitions on the agenda today. I'd like to ask Development Chairman, Committee Chairman Teresa Barrero to discuss and make a motion to approve each of the zoning petitions before us today. So, Ms. Barrero?
Thank you, Chairman. We're gonna do one at a time, correct? Because we do have possibly one speaker for each petition. Okay, the first one is petition 4320. The petitioner is Henry Rosicki. The property is located at 2 South 315 Deer Path Road in Batavia Township. The staff approved this with the following stipulation. Prior to boarding 25 or more horses, the petitioner will comply with all requirements under Illinois Livestock Facilities Management Act. Now, the staff approved this with stipulation, and the zoning board approved it, and the development committee approved it with 8 more stipulations, which you can see on the agenda. I'd like to move that.
Do we have a second? So moved by Mr. Frost. Any discussion? If not, I'd like to ask the clerk to call the roll.
Ellen? Hubbard?
Yes.
Guerrero?
Yes.
Castro?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Gillum?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Bochet?
Yes.
Kane?
Yes.
Zaret?
Yes.
Leish? Yes. Lewis?
Yes.
Molina? Yes. Pollock?
Yes.
Silva?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Sterrett?
Yes.
Vasquez?
Yes.
Mooney?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next is petition 4324.
Thank you, Chair. This is petition 4324 in Dundee Township. It is, the property is located at 17-501 and 17-503 Sleep Valley Road. The petitioner is Patrick Schloss, and staff approved this, and zoning board approved this along with development. I'd like to motion.
Okay, so moved by Ms. Barrero, second by Ms. Auger. Let's see, is there any discussion? If not, I'd like to ask the clerk to call the roll.
Ellen? Hubbard?
Yes.
Guerrero?
Yes.
Castro? Yes. Davis?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Gillum? Yes. Freeman?
Yes.
Bochet?
Yes.
Kane?
Yes.
Zaret?
Yes.
Leish?
Yes.
Lewis?
Yes.
Molina? Yes. Pollock?
Yes.
Silva?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Sterrett?
Yes.
Vasquez?
Yes.
And Mooney?
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Next is petition number 4326. Ms. Barrero.
Yes, this is petition 4326 in Rutland Township. The petitioner is Raleigh Limited Partnership, and this property is located at 43 West 931 Route 20. The proposal is special use for distribution, receiving, and storage facility. Let's see here, there's, a staff approved it, and zoning board and development approved it with stipulation that there would be no more than 5 trucks to store on the site at any one time. I'd like to make a motion.
So moved by Chairman of the Committee, Teresa Barrero, second by Mr. Smith.
This is a Mike District, I'll second.
Thank you very much. Any discussion, questions? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Ellen?
Aye.
Hubbard?
Yes.
Guerrero?
Yes.
Castro?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Gillum?
Yes.
Freeman?
Yes.
Bochet?
Yes.
Kenyon,
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leach. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Janik.
Yes.
The motion passes. Final petition for today is number 4327. Ms. Barrero.
Yes, for petition 4327 is in Elgin Township. The petitioner is Dick Cortez Picasso. I don't want to butcher that name. The address is known as 13 North 055 Holmes Road in Elgin Township. This is a special use for a body shop and paint shop. The staff approved it, the zoning board approved it, and development approved it with one stipulation that they add a landscape buffer along the east side of the property. I'd like to make motion with that.
So moved by Ms. Barrero, second by Mr. Kozarek. Any discussion, questions? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Allen.
Aye.
Auger.
Yes.
Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum. Yes. Keenan.
Yes.
Oshai.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leach. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Janik.
Yes.
Carried.
The motion passes. Thank you very much, Ms. Barrero. Next on the agenda is the fiscal year 2015 budget ordinance and resolutions. I'd like to ask Finance Committee Chairman John Hushite to make a motion to approve each of the tax levy resolutions and then the 2015 budget ordinance individually. We'll take a roll call on each of them.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first is Resolution 298, adopting a levy for Chevelle to sell special building area on the bed.
Okay, may I have a second? So moved by Ms. Wolnicki. Any questions, comments? If not, I'll ask clerk to call the roll.
Allen. Auger.
Yes.
Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum. Yes. Heyman.
Yes.
Oshai.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leach. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Janik.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Next.
Next, I'll move Resolution 299, the tax levy for the county purge fund.
Okay, and seconded by Mr. Frost, Transportation Chairman. Any questions, comments? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Allen. Auger.
Yes.
Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum.
Yes.
Heyman.
Yes.
Oshai.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Janik.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
Next, I'll move Resolution 300, the tax levy for the county health fund.
Okay, so moved by Mr. O'Shea, second by Dr. Silva, Chairman of the Health Committee, Public Health Committee. Any comments, questions? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Allen.
Aye.
Auger.
Yes.
Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum.
Yes.
Heyman.
Yes.
Oshai.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Janik.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next, I'll move Resolution 301, it's the levy for the county highway matching fund.
So moved by Mr. O'Shea, second by Mr. Frost, Transportation Chairman. Any comments, questions? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Allen.
Aye.
Auger. Yes. Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum.
Yes.
Heyman.
Yes.
Oshai.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leash. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Halleck.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Winnie.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next, I'll move Resolution 302 is the levy for the county highway fund.
So moved by Mr. O'Shea, second by Mr. Frost, Transportation Secretary. Or Chairman. Any thoughts, questions? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Allen.
Aye.
Auger. Yes. Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yeah. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Braz.
Yes.
Gillum. Yes. Freeman.
Yes.
O'Shea.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Halleck.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Derek.
Yes.
And Vasquez.
Yes.
Winnie.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Next, I'll move Resolution 303 is the levy for Craig River State Special Billing Unit.
So moved by Chairman of Finance O'Shea, second by Mr. Davis, in whose area I believe this is. Any questions, comments? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Allen.
Aye.
Auger.
Yes.
Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Braz.
Yes.
Gillum.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
O'Shea.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Halleck.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Derek.
Yes.
Winnie. Vasquez.
Yes.
Winnie.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion passes.
Next, I'll move Resolution 304 is the levy for exposition view special billing unit.
So moved by Mr. O'Shea, second by Mr. Ford. Any questions, comments? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Allen.
Aye.
Auger.
Yes.
Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Braz.
Yes.
Gillum. Yes. Freeman.
Yes.
O'Shea.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Halleck.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Derek. Yes. Vasquez.
Yes.
Winnie.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next, I'll move Resolution 305 is the levy for the general fund.
Okay, so moved by Mr. O'Shea, second by Ms. Allen. Any questions, comments? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Allen.
Aye.
Auger. Yes. Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Braz.
Yes.
Gillum. Yes. Freeman.
Yes.
O'Shea.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Halleck.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Derek.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Winnie.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Next, I'll move Resolution 306 is the levy for the IMRF.
So moved by Mr. O'Shea, second by Mr. Frost. Any questions, comments? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Allen.
Aye.
Auger. Yes. Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Braz.
Yes.
Gillum. Yes. Freeman.
Yes.
O'Shea.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Halleck.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I move Resolution 307, the levy for the insurance liability fund.
So moved by Mr. O'Shea, second by Mr. Vasquez. Any comments, questions? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Allen.
Aye.
Auger.
Yes.
Guerrero. Yes. Castro.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Braz.
Yes.
Gillum. Yes. Freeman.
Yes.
O'Shea.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Halleck.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Zarek. Yes. Vasquez.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Move Resolution 308, the levy for Mill Creek Special Building Area.
Okay, so moved by Mr. Hoshide, second by Mr. Davis. Any questions, comments? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Ellen. Aye. Yes. Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum. Yes. Freeman.
Yes.
Oshek.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Barrett.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Kennedy.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Move Resolution 309, the tax levy for Mill Creek Special Service Area.
So moved by Mr. Hoshide, second by Mr. Frost. Any comments, questions? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Ellen.
Aye.
August.
Yes.
Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Oshek.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Barrett.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Kennedy.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I move Resolution 310, the levy for Ogden Garden Special Building Area.
So moved by Mr. Hoshide, second by Dr. Silva. Any comments, questions? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Ellen.
Aye.
Auger.
Yes.
Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum. Yes. Freeman.
Yes.
Oshek.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Barrett.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Kennedy.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I move Resolution 311, the tax levy for Pasadena Drive Special Building Area.
So moved by Mr. Hoshide, second by Mr. Vasquez. Any comments, questions? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Ellen.
Aye.
Auger.
Yes.
Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum. Yes. Freeman.
Yes.
Oshek.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Barrett.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Kennedy.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I move Resolution 312, the levy for Pine Grove Estate Special Building Area.
So moved by Mr. Hoshide, second by Mr. Smith. Any questions, comments? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Ellen.
Aye.
Auger.
Yes.
Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Oshek.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Barrett.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Kennedy.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I move Resolution 313, the levy for Shirewood Farm Special Service Area.
So moved by Mr. Hoshide, second by Mr. Smith. Any comments, questions? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Ellen.
Aye.
Auger.
Yes.
Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Oshek.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Barrett.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Kennedy.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes.
I move Resolution 314, the levy for the Social Security Fund.
So moved by Mr. Hoshide.
Sorry, who's second?
So moved by Mr. Hoshide, second by Mr. Kenyon.
We earned it. You applied for it. I applied for
Any
it.
comments, questions? If not, clerk will call the roll.
14 is Ellen.
Aye.
Auger.
Yes.
Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Kazari.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Surratt. Yes. Vasquez.
Yes.
Koniecki.
Yes.
The motion carries.
I move resolution 315, the levy for Sunvale special billing area.
So moved by Mr. O'Shea, second by Ms. Wodnicki. Any questions, comments? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Ellen.
Aye.
Auger.
Yes.
Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
O'Shea.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock. Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Surratt. Yes. Vasquez.
Yes.
Koniecki.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I move resolution 316, the levy for Tamara Dickens special billing area.
Okay, so moved by Mr. O'Shea, second by Ms. Wodnicki. Any comments, questions? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Ellen.
Aye.
Auger. Yes. Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum. Yes. Freeman.
Yes.
O'Shea.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Surratt.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carries or passes. Next.
I move resolution 317, the levy for the Veterans Commission Fund.
So moved by Mr. O'Shea, second by everyone's favorite veteran, T.R. Smith, who, by the way, is sporting his American Legion tie today. Everybody should take a look. Any comments, questions? Clerk will call the roll.
Ellen. Auger. Yes. Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
O'Shea.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes, Governor.
Davis.
Yes.
Vasquez.
C.
Koniecki.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I move resolution 318, the levy for Wildwood West special billing area.
So moved by Mr. O'Shea, second by Ms. Wodnicki. Any comments, questions? If not, clerk will call the roll.
Ellen.
Aye.
Auger. Yes. Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro. Yes. Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
O'Shea.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Surratt.
Yes.
Vasquez.
Yes.
Koniecki.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I move resolution 319, the ordinance adopting the annual appropriation.
So moved by Mr. O'Shea, second by Mr. Fraz. Any comments, questions? Ms. Allen?
Just wanted to say that our job is to set policy for the county and to develop a budget, live up to it. And we have the sacred honor today of passing this levy. Just wanted to say that going door to door, people are grateful that the county forest preserve have held their levies first, trying to get as many people in their homes as possible. Wanted to say thanks for all the hard work that went into it.
Well said. Any other comments, questions? As I mentioned, I think it might have been at the last board meeting, maybe it was at executive committee meeting. We do have a final piece that we're working through in this process of the final executive compensation. We are scrupulously following the ordinance. And so that needs, I was thinking that it could go all at once through finance exec and to the board. However, it needs to go through all of the next standing committee meetings individually, which it's going to do. The range is between the 2% and 5%. The impact on this budget will be zero. because whatever those raises are, they'll be found in other areas, either in that department, or if it's not found in that department, out of the county board individual budget. So no impact, but we want to make sure, and now's the time. I appreciate the advice from board members in the past that this all needs to be a part of this process, and want to have everything on the table before we go forward. So thank you for everybody who's worked on that. Any other comments, questions? Okay, if not, clerk will call the roll.
Ellen.
Aye.
Augur. Yes. Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum. Yes. Freeman.
Yes.
Moshe.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Sterrett. Yes. Vasquez.
Yes.
Monique.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. What a credit to all your work. Thank you very much. Everybody in this room has been involved one way or the other in producing unanimous on every vote of budget. $250 million worth of sources and uses of taxpayer funds. And as Ms. Allen points out, it is a sacred trust that we are all given. You think about where that money goes to dispense justice, to provide public safety, to construct and maintain highways, to conduct free and fair elections, to protect public health, with all the associated IT development, human resources, environmental, all the court services, the circuit clerk's work, the audit that backs it up, all that work within a frozen property tax levy for the 4th year in a row. So congratulations and thank you very much for your collaboration, your work together. Okay, the next on the agenda is resolutions and ordinances. Would anyone like to remove any item from the consent agenda? Ms. Wojnicki?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 14354.
Okay. Any others? Okay. If not, I'd like to ask for a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda with the exception of 14-354. Moved by Ms. Lesh, seconded by Mr. Vasquez. Any questions or comments? If not, the clerk will call the roll.
Ellen.
Aye.
Augur. Yes. Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum. Yes. Freeman.
Yes.
Moshe.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva. Yes. Smith.
Yes.
Sterrett. Yes. Vasquez.
Yes.
Monique.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Going back to resolution 14354, may I have a motion to pass that? So moved by Ms. Wojnicki, second by Mr. Heyman. Discussion, comments, Ms. Wojnicki.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just briefly, the KDOT building is in my district, and my district experiences many drainage issues in this area in particular along Burlington Road and just off of Burlington Road. We consistently have drainage issues. So I know KDOT had worked with one of the neighbors in particular, and I'm just once again asking that they consider the neighbors when they're erecting this new building. And that's it. Thank you.
Any other thoughts and comments? If not, we have a motion and a second. Clerk, call the roll.
Ellen.
Aye.
Augur. Yes. Guerrero.
Yes.
Castro.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Ross.
Yes.
Gillum. Yes. Freeman.
Yes.
Moshe.
Yes.
Kenyon.
Yes.
Zarek.
Yes.
Leish. Yes. Lewis.
Yes.
Molina. Yes. Pollock.
Yes.
Silva.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Sterrett. Yes. Vasquez.
Yes.
Monique. Yes.
Okay, the motion passes. Okay, final item is going to take a little time, and I do, in a way, apologize for that, but it's important work going forward. This is Resolution 14362. May I have a motion? Chairman of Human Services, Christine Castro, moves it. Second by Mr. Vasquez. Any comments, questions? Ms. Castro.
I'm just going to make a quick comment. We've had a lot of discussion with this, the chairman, I, the committee, has had several discussions. I have to take a little offense to an article that I read that sounds like we're going to battle. I didn't know asking tough questions means we're going to go fight a war. We're not. I think what the chairman and I and some of the committee members is, there's nothing wrong with asking the tough questions of all groups that come and want our business, and to make sure that county taxpayers, money is being used wisely without, obviously, it's a fine balance of, providing our employees great coverage, but also being truthful to the taxpayer. And when I was reading this article, it seemed like we were ready to go to war, and that's not the case. I think what we're looking at is asking those tough questions of everyone, and even maybe possibly starting a dialogue with other counties to see if they're having those same struggles, and to build maybe some kind of coalition. I understand the chairman meets with several of the county chairs, and I would welcome him to bring that up as an item for discussion to see how, and what are their options, what are they facing, what struggles have they had discussions, who are they using? I know T.R. Smith just informed me that Cook County dropped the cross and went to United Healthcare. What caused that decision? Why? I think that this is where these partnerships come in handy, and I think this dialogue should start and continue. But to say that we're about to ready to go to war, I don't want to jeopardize anything. I think we're just here to have a conversation, to start a conversation, and we'll look forward. We will always ask those tough questions of whoever's going to be our insurance provider, and that's where Global comes in as well as our broker. But I think that's what we'll keep looking at, and we will keep going forward, and we'll see where we're at in 2015. Thank you.
I think we have to understand that we're sold newspapers.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Kester. I think that's a very important point, that as we go through this work and in an open, honest way, we do have to share concerns that we have with each other and with all the people who we deal with. And the idea of inflaming the passions that make people less reluctant to cooperate and collaborate, it is a destructive kind of direction to take. And so I appreciate what you say. I think you're absolutely right, that we are just trying to do the best all around. So we have a motion and then a second by Ms. Castro and Mr. Vasquez. This is an area that we spend $15 to $17 million a year. We are in the process of having meetings to clarify different pieces. We'd like to give you a brief this morning because it's such a big piece. Think about it. $15 to $17 million is approximately 25% of the entire property tax levy in the county of Kane. And so we're paying attention to this one. And we're all grateful that we have so many people who are pitching in. The state's attorney, I believe on Friday, is going to be sitting down on the legal side of our contracts on that. On Thursday, I'll be sitting down with the president of Blue Cross Blue Shield to go over. We also did ask Blue Cross Blue Shield if they'd like to attend today, but I think that we'll do our homework first. I respect that before we come and talk more about it. So we're not, everything we do is in front of everybody and out in the open on top of the table. And then, let's see. So just want to put this generally into context. If you approve this resolution, which I think that it has the support through public services, human services, excuse me, then finance, and then executive, and I assume that it will enjoy support today and pass, and it's going to pass. It does authorize me to sign a contract that many of us have some serious concerns. And just as Chairman Castro says, we do respect and appreciate our relationship with Blue Cross Blue Shield. All of us also recognize, and I think most of our neighbors recognize, that healthcare costs are out of control and getting worse. And so again, it's a place to pay attention. It's a state issue. It's certainly on the national agenda. At the local level, we end up paying for it. And so when some of the discussion at previous meetings, almost surprised that family coverage, even here at the county, is $20,000 to $25,000 a year. I mean, that's more than some employees are paid, is what we pay for family health care. I believe that there's consensus on our priorities. I think that the most important thing is providing quality health care and the insurance and the methods that go to providing quality. It doesn't matter how much you save if the operation goes badly. And then only after quality is cost, and then partnership. Our employees, both non-union and union, the county, with many taxpayers, insurance company, Blue Cross Blue Shield. And actually, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think that our objective is healthy, happy, and productive employees. Here's the serious concern with the contract we operate under right now. The refunds and the deeper discounts that are provided by providers, that are given by providers, are at least in large part going back to Blue Cross Blue Shield in our self-funded PPO. Okay? The analogy, when you think about it, is let's say that 3 people go to dinner. Be the county, our employees, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Go out for lunch. The waiter comes with a bill for $10. Okay? The county pays $20, okay, or gives a $20 bill to the waiter. Okay? The employee leaves the tip, 17%. They're good tippers. You know, anybody who's worked as a waiter in their life understands how important that is. But that's about the employee's share of the tip, not a perfect analogy. But when the waiter returns with the change for the $20 bill for the $10 bill, they hand it off to Blue Cross Blue Shield. You say, well, wait a second. We paid the bill. The county paid the bill. So what we want to do is we want to bring that extra $10 or anything. We want to pay fully for all the services that are provided. But if there's going to be a refund or a discount, we would like to have that come back to the county taxpayers' benefit. We do have 3 slides, and then the questions on another slide, and then the answers from Blue Cross Blue Shield. If anybody wants us to go into that detail, we'll put them up on the screen. They'll be made available. Otherwise, I think that if you understand our concern before we vote on it, we will work for the next year to figure out a way, either through Blue Cross Blue Shield or any other provider, of innovating and getting this so that we get quality, cost, and respect our partnership. If that's okay, then we go on with just the rest of the conversation without going through slides. Okay, all right. Any other comments or questions? Mr. Kane?
I like your analogy, your little story, and nobody can't understand what you're saying. We need to be fun. We need to change. And thank you for making it so even the newspapers will probably understand.
And it is interesting. We all went to lunch together. Thanks very much. Any other? We have a motion and a second. If not, if no other comments, the clerk will call the roll.
Allen?
Aye.
Hubbard? Yes. Guerrero?
Yes.
Castro?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Braz?
Yes.
Gillum? Yes. Freeman?
Yes.
Olshek?
Yes.
Kenyon?
Yes.
Zarek?
Yes.
Leish? Yes. Lewis?
Yes.
Molina? Yes. Pollock?
Yes.
Silva?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Sterrett? Yes. Vasquez?
Yes.
Dominic? Yes.
Okay, so that motion passes. Let's see. closing thoughts. Actually, I believe that there's just one. There was another piece, I don't think it's necessary. For 3 members of the board, this will be their last meeting. Mr. Donahue, Ms. Lesh, also Ms. Taylor. I would like to ask any of those in attendance for any closing thoughts that they might have. If there's anything that it's almost like having the last say before we ask for any speakers on non-agenda items and then adjournment. Ms. Lesh, would you like to provide any comments?
Not that I was prepared, but it's been a pleasure serving. I really enjoyed working with all of you here and then also the departments out in the county, and to work with the residents in District 3 has always been pleasant and forthcoming with their information and their concerns. I congratulate the person that's coming in and they work as a starter.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lesh, for your contribution to your neighbors and to the county. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. So thank you so much. Okay, do we have any speakers on non-agenda items? If not, may I have a motion to adjourn to Tuesday? Oh, excuse me.
Close then.
Yes, of course. Mr. Vasquez.
Just like to thank all the veterans on the board. Happy Veterans Day tomorrow. And for any of those who are Marines, happy birthday.
Okay, other comments and thoughts? Ms. Wodicki?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just like to wish the outgoing members the best of luck, including Mike and Melissa. We're going to be losing a lot of talent, but we're going to be gaining a lot of new talent. So welcome to the newcomers and best of luck to the outgoing board members.
Thank you very much. Ms. Barrero?
Thank you, Chairman. I just would like to announce again that we are having our last and final mortgage relief project at the Dundee Crown High School in Carpentersville. And this is unprecedented because this is our 3rd event that the foreclosure task force has worked with the Attorney General's office to have this event. They do not come out and do 2, even 3 events in one county. So this is huge for us. We worked very hard on this, and please pass it on. If anybody would like one of our flyers, the date is December 6th at the Dundee Crown High School. And Rebecca, Commissioner Gillum over there has our flyers in English and in Spanish. And please pass it on so that anybody you know that in that area or throughout Kane County or even in McHenry County could attend the event and possibly stay at their home. This event remodifies their mortgages so that they can stay in their home. So there's several documents that they need to bring with them. But please pass it on. The date is December 6th from 9 to 1 in Carpentersville. And again, Ms. Gillum has the flyers if anybody would like some. Thank you.
Okay, good. Any other thoughts? If not, motion to adjourn. Mr. Heyman, second by Ms. Sterrett. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Thank you so much.